Hele mai ke olo olo oe, e ho'i mai kuipo. E hele mai ke olo olo oe, e ho'i mai kuipo. Breakfast with Bob and Angela.
Poncho Man! Woo! Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. We're presented by ES Sports Nutrition, Cliff Bar, Timex, Roca, Tanyapura Resort, Rudy Project, and Slow Twitch. Angela Naeth joins us. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. Won your last 2 Ironmans, Chattanooga, Texas. Texas, what, 8:55?
Yeah.
Sub 9 hours. That's the real deal. Talk a little bit about getting into this sport. Was it 07, 08 was your first races? 08 was a pro,
Yeah.
but 07 when you first started.
Yeah, my mom took me to my very first race. It was an Olympic event, indoor pool. I've always wanted to do a triathlon.
07?
In 07, yeah.
So you're talking indoor
Yeah,
pool,
really,
first try, but you ran as...
I ran in track in college.
Okay.
I saw my first Ironman on TV when I was 10, so that kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
But never really jumped into it because I just thought it was a crazy sport.
Which
And
you're
so,
right, yes.
Yeah, which is very right. So then in 07, went to my first race. It was an indoor pool, swim and cross-country run, and I fell in love with it. And so that was the start of it, and then slowly progressed.
And at that point, I mean, you're talking 07, a year later, you're a pro.
Yes, yeah, actually.
That's a little quick transition.
It is a quick transition. I was working full-time as a physical therapist up in Canada, and I wanted to get out of the snow. I don't like cold weather, and so I was looking online, and I found a triathlon camp online. And so I headed to California and met a coach down there who really just inspired me to try to see if I can turn pro.
Right.
And from there, I just worked hard and was able to get my pro card the very next year at the race.
So you had a coach who believed enough in you after seeing you at a camp to say you should go pro.
Yeah. It was,
That's
yeah.
because you wouldn't have thought that on your own.
Yeah, it was a 100-miler bike race, like a
Yeah.
event, and I was there with the camp. There was about 30 of us, and I was the only female, and we all started together, and he kind of just threw me off. He's like, "Oh, this girl, it's a girl, she can't ride." And at the very end, it ended up being me and him, and so he was quite inspired by how I could ride, and then
Yes.
from there just kind
Without
of
much background in riding.
No, I just would ride my bike back and forth to track practice as a kid, and I enjoyed the bike, definitely. Yeah.
And the bike has been a strength.
It has been, yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Well, my dad's a bodybuilder, and
So
or
strength-
he was, yeah. So I used to go to the gym with him a lot and
Yeah.
just do a bunch of weights with him all the time, and it was
Right.
always my legs because I was so weak upper body.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
So what, he'd have you doing squats and all that type of stuff?
Squats, leg press, anything that he
How
was
old?
doing, I did. Oh gosh, I was probably 8 or 9 when I started. Yeah. I loved it.
You're sort of like bodybuilding.
Yeah, I was. I had some nice quads when I was little.
I was going to say, other
worst
8-year-olds
part,
were
yeah.
going, what the heck?
Well, the worst part was I didn't have any pants that ever fit me properly, and
Because your
that
quads were so big.
created a complex in my head.
You're like, I got big legs. God.
Yeah.
So obviously that paid off. You become
yeah.
you become good at the sport. What was the race you did where you thought, okay, I can really be good at this?
I guess I would have to say it was my first 70.3 win in Boulder.
Okay.
Prior to that in 2011, I got tons of second places. It was almost every race, and when I finally was able to cross that line in first after 70.3, that was just my goal to
win a
70.3,
Yeah.
and it just really made me feel like I belonged here, and I was
Right.
confident, and from there it was awesome.
12 70.3 wins, 23 times on the podium. That's a great distance, and it sounds like it's the perfect distance for you. How tough? Right. How tough was the move from that to the full?
It wasn't that tough. It took me a lot of years. I had a lot of doubts about thinking that I could actually go that distance.
Yeah.
And so finally, things just kind of worked its way to doing my first one in 2013.
Mm.
Oh no, that was 2012, I believe. I can't remember which
That's
one it was,
okay.
but it was Tahoe. And
When it was freezing. It was 27 degrees,
freezing
ice
cold.
on the seats, and the whole bit.
That was not a good experience.
And here's a person who goes, I'm going to get into the sport because it's in warm weather.
Yes. That's why I moved south is
Yes.
to be in Hawaii. So yeah, once I jumped into that first race, I fell in love with it. I feel like the Ironman distance is where I belong. Every time I go long, I feel a lot better
Yeah.
and I feel stronger, and so I'm
Do you
excited.
do you feel when you do the long races like Chattanooga or Texas, do you get stronger throughout the day?
Yes, most definitely. Because while you go through the swim, it's more of a warm up, I guess.
Yeah,
But, and then as I progress on the bike, I just feel stronger throughout, and so it's just really exciting for me to be able to go longer and,
That first win in Chattanooga, getting an Ironman win. It's not like you'd spend a lot of years getting ready for you hadn't done a lot of Ironman leading in.
Yeah.
How important was that for you?
It was really important. It was basically a time where I could put everything together. I had some nutrition issues. I still had doubts in my head. I was able in that race to just cross all my T's and dot my I's and really execute a solid race. And so that just kind of jumped me forward to now, putting down a lot more foundation in the training itself and progressing from there. So
when you win Ironman Texas, you get an automatic spot here.
Yes.
Because it was the U.S. championship for 70.3. So for full distance. Knowing that you got that, coming down that last stretch, the golden ticket, you've punched it, and you could have come to Kona. More importantly, you don't have to do another Ironman, right? So that you can come here and just focus on getting here.
Yeah, it was all I thought about, actually. That, I always try to pride myself for being in the moment and being excited about every time that, you cross the line. But when I knew I had it in the bank and the first thing that was in my head is, I'm going to Kona. And so that's what was on my mind as soon as I crossed that line. And I was just excited that I finally was able to achieve that goal to actually be part of this race.
And you guys live in Vegas?
We live in Vegas, yep.
Which is, of course, the hotbed of triathlon.
Hot and dry.
But there's not what's the training situation there? Because it's not considered a hotbed of triathlon.
Yeah, it's not a hotbed, but we have a really good group of people. We have a great swim group. The roads are
it's pretty
awesome.
wide open, right?
Yeah, and just no potholes or issues with that.
Right.
It gets pretty hot in the summer. This was our first year we kind of stayed there, which we will not be doing next year. We've already decided.
Too hot?
No way. Yeah, definitely too hot. Yeah.
So when did you get here?
I got here about 4 weeks ago, and and prior to that, my coach had a training camp in the Woodlands again in May in Texas, and so that was really helpful because it was way more hot and humid over there than it is here.
Really?
Yeah, you were just sweating buckets, and so by the time I got here, I felt really acclimatized and felt good.
First time here.
For the race, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What, riding a course, what are your thoughts about it? Does it suit you?
I love the course.
See, that's the thing. And some people get off the plane here and they get a feeling in their gut like, oh my God, I can't believe here. Or they get off and they go, I love this place.
Yeah, actually the course itself is really awesome. I love the ocean and just, I'm hoping for the most harsh conditions possible.
You like that?
I do.
The harsher the better.
Yeah, harsher the better. Like, I was out on the Queen K and there's crosswinds, like, just insanely, like the most I've ever been in, and it was just awesome, and it really makes the race exciting and challenging. And
well, and being in a field like this, I mean, every top woman in the world, a lot of times you go to races, people are training through it, they have other focuses throughout the season. Everybody's focus is this. And you've got, Miranda Carfrae and Jody Swallow, and just all the best women are here. Do you like that?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I'm really excited because I've raced a few of my contenders in other races, but not all at once. And so it's just a really neat time because you get the lead up to the race, and it's a magical kind of race, I guess you could say, and it's just exciting. And
some people get intimidated by being here and going, oh, there's Miranda, and there's Caroline, and there's so-and-so. You seem pretty mellow.
Yeah, I'm pretty calm. Like, I've come and seen the race a few times. I've been on the island so much, so I feel like this is more of a home to me as well. And
that's important.
I know a lot of people here, and so I'm just excited to go out there and have fun and see how fast I can go. And no matter who's on that start line, it's just, it's been a dream of mine to be in this race, and that's what I'm excited about.
When we've seen people like Miranda Carfrae come here and get second or first time, people tend to do well, or they don't. Yep. And this is one of those races, you seem like the type of person who mentally is in a great frame of mind. What would you be happy with here? Is it one of those things where, man, if I got top 10, I'd be overjoyed, or I need to be on the podium? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's funny. I was having this conversation with my coach about last week about what would detail a great race for me. And, when I had to sit down and think about it, it's not really a placement at all. It's just really if I'm in the moment every single time that I'm racing out there and just believing 100% that I can do what I can do. So if that's 100th or first or or what have you. But, you know, obviously I want to win.
Right, you're here to win.
That's the key. But, you know, I'll be happy if I know that I've given 100% out there and from the start to the very end of that.
Love it. Angela, thanks for taking time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it was fun.
Angela Naeth has been our guest. We are presented by EAS Sports Nutrition, Cliff Bar, Timex, Roca, Tanya Porter, Rudy Project, Slow Twitch, and Mr. Poncho Man. Take us out.
Hele mai ke olo olo oe, e ho'i mai kuipo. E hele mai ke olo olo oe, e ho'i mai. Breakfast with Bob, Aloha Tuesday.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Translated, that means Angela will be winning by a lot.
Yes, and your eyes are like